In my last video, I talked about how we've been historically conditioned to feel guilty when we rest. And I advised do nothing. But doing nothing doesn't mean what most people think it means. So let me clarify this, because it's our essential, deep need that helps restore the tranquility of the mind. It may seem funny that there's a proper way to do nothing, but there is, and I'll explain it. To do nothing is to rest in being. But when we try to do nothing, what first arises isn't peace and simply being. And that's why, for most people, do nothing means engaging in something relaxing or entertaining that doesn't require conscious involvement. That's not doing nothing. That is an activity, and that only seems relaxing because your own thoughts are quieter as you watch other people's thoughts on Instagram or Netflix. But that is not rest. This is just how everyone avoids themselves. Marcus Aurelius said in his Meditations how people seek retreats in the country, by the sea, in the mountains. And he said, but this is altogether unphilosophical, when it is possible for you to retreat into yourself at any hour you please. So how do we actually practice doing nothing? Which is, in fact, retreating into ourselves. You can do this with me or just listen and try it later. It's just an idea and it's simple. Just sit somewhere quiet, no phone, no book, no music, just you. The first few minutes might feel uncomfortable or boring, and the mind will scream for distraction or some content, or you might think about 47 things you should be doing. So that's a great chance to notice those thoughts. Be a watcher, be an observer of those thoughts, sensations, impulses, where they are in relation to your head. What direction are they moving? Just observe them. Don't try to get rid of them. Just let them go by, like trains passing through a station. Then ask in your mind, I wonder what my next thought will be. And wait. Now again, notice any thoughts arising. What do they look like? Are they images, words, feelings? Just observe, let them pass. And ask again, I wonder what my next thought will look like. Breathe and wait. So what happened? Maybe you experienced how some thoughts have pulled you into their net, and it took a while before you even realized that you were actually thinking and not doing this do nothing exercise. Thoughts are like magnets. They are magnetic, and it's so easy to be pulled in. And if this happened, that's great. It's great to observe that pull, because now you know what that pull looks like and feels like. When you redirected your attention with a question, waiting for the next thought to appear, you softened the magnetism of the thought. The more you do it, and maybe you already did, feel that little space between thoughts. And at first it may seem like nothing, but as you do this more, the space expands and deepens. It is in this space that you get to deeply, deeply rest and really do nothing, because thinking is also doing. That space between thoughts and perceptions is what ancient philosophers called tranquility. Eckhart Tolle calls it presence. Because in that space, you are present, you are here and now. The only thing that is disallowing us to be present is our mental chatter and plenty of activities, most of which are useless. This is not some unicorn practice disconnected from our everyday life, because when you expand the range of being, when you're not only comfortable in this tranquil space, but actually enjoying it, then you access what Tolle described as an intelligence beyond thought. And it is where true genius arises, and true problem solving, creativity and peace and love, but also many practical solutions. there's something you need to deal with. And your mind, this allows you to stop because something is so urgent. You want to solve something and you make a even bigger mess. I'm sure you experience that. So when you are able to return to that space, the solutions come without you even asking. Because what needs to be resolved, what needs to be dealt with, when you are present, you will deal with it. You will not bypass reality and your everyday life by doing nothing. No, you will allow the space to basically to source yourself in intelligence greater than your own mind. That space is something always available to you. And as you practice returning to it, you gain resilience and self-reliance because you know there's something stable in you on which you can rely always. Challenges will shake you probably, but not forever. Only for a short little while until you remember, did you do know how to return to your tranquil space, which will provide truly reasonable and intelligent solutions. You will also realize how many problems were mind created and didn't objectively even require any action. You will see the tricks of your conditioned mind that resists this practice, sending thoughts and emotions to keep you trapped. When you stop running, you will see they have no real substance, but there is a momentum that was perpetuated by the habit of listening to them and resisting them at the same time, which is how people live. I promise you that the unpleasant part of this won't last forever. The only reason why we avoid emotions and darker thoughts is that we believe they define us. And the only reason why they define us is because we are not yet familiar with the space between them. The space in which they dissolve when you consciously do nothing. The same way waves naturally flatten when the wind stops blowing. There's no effort in it. And what remains then is the tranquil mind that everyone has below the noise. Do nothing properly.